Hi, hello everyone, welcome to today's video. It's super exciting. I haven't done one of these style videos in so long. I haven't done a real winter product review in so freaking long. It's been at least a year since I've done something like this. I think the last video I made was the Aritzia puffer coat review video, and that was a lot of fun to do. I still have it in my closet along with all my winter coats. It's a great piece, still been wearing it. But this year, today is not about coats. Today is about boots. Winter boots, that is. I, for years, haven't really given into buying heavy-duty real winter boots because honestly, I haven't really had the need. I've had a pair of my winter Blundstones for at least 5 years, probably longer now, probably closer to 7 years. They're still good, still plan on using them. The only downfall is they're ankle length, and my only other real winter boots that I have are my Manitoba Mucklucks, which I bought last year on Boxing Day. And those are gorgeous. They're lovely to walk around the city in. They're beautiful. They're extremely warm, but only downside is they're not totally waterproof. They're water resistant to a degree, but they are not like a heavy duty technical winter boot. So, to my dismay, probably along with most Torontonians, about a week ago we were hit with an actual winter storm. I mean, granted, it only snowed a couple inches, but it was a lot more snow than we're typically used to. Usually when they say or they report, like the Weather Network reports that it's gonna snow, at least in this Toronto bubble, it doesn't really ever snow. But again, to everybody's surprise, it actually snowed about a week ago, and it snowed a lot. So I'm sure, just like a bunch of other people, I went home after work and panic searched for like 2 hours to try and find these boots on whatever website. I wasn't even looking for them to be on sale. There are currently still some sales going on a couple of websites, in a couple of in the other color that this boot is available in, but I finally found, after 2 hours, I was finally able to secure a pair of these boots in my size, at least I hope. There is going to be like a 50-50 chance that these boots don't fit, and we're gonna do the try on in this video. The main goal of this video, as most of my review videos are, at least these first impression videos, which is what this video is going to be. I haven't even taken the boots out of the box. Like, I've had this box sitting in my apartment for about a week now, and I still haven't opened them because I knew I planned on doing this video. Also, didn't really have any need to pull these boots out. There's a 50-50 chance these boots will not fit, so there's that. But basically, I do these videos for you guys, not only because I enjoy doing them, but I do the research for you so you don't have to when you go and purchase your first pair of boots, if you're interested in these. Now, these boots are well known. I feel like they're part of the Canadian female, or at least Toronto, uniform of winter. Everybody has these boots, especially in the color that I purchased them in. And today's boots, we are talking about the Ugg Adirondack III Tall Boots. I did make notes on these boots, hence why I'm referring to my laptop and my notes to the left of me and to the right of me. Now, these boots, first and foremost, I think the first thing that I have to say about these boots is these boots are incredibly expensive. It's impossible to talk about these boots and not talk about the price, because these are easily the most expensive boots on, technical, proper winter boots on the market. These boots, without tax, are $370. With tax, the tax that I had to pay, they were $418.10. So I spent $400 on these boots, and I'm not proud of it. There's a couple of reasons I picked these out. Now, first and foremost, the reason I picked these out is because they are made to be more of a slimmer boot. I find, comparatively to the Sorels boots that are on the market, which are more inexpensive, they are a lot less. These Ugg boots are a lot less, they're a lot lighter. They aren't as heavy as the Ugg boots, I personally find. And as somebody who has a very narrow foot, I have tried these boots on prior. I tried them on sometime I think in 2019 or the beginning of 2020. I just couldn't remember exactly what size I tried on, so that's why I said these may not even fit, because I do not currently remember. I couldn't remember what size I tried on, so we're winging it here. I ended up purchasing a size 10 boot, but I remember trying these on and I found that the fit was incredibly snug, very comfortable, that they weren't super heavy, and I have tried on Sorels in the past, and I've actually worn Sorels in the past, and I just found that they were very, very heavy. I found that they were, width-wise, they're about 2 sizes like bigger than my own foot. So for me, they are definitely not the boot for me just for comfort alone. I am somebody who feels that, especially at this point in my life, I'm not gonna buy anything that I just don't feel comfortable in, or that doesn't fit me perfectly, or as like close to perfect as I possibly can get, because honestly, like, I'm not gonna spend money on stuff that I'm just gonna never wear and it's gonna end up sitting in my closet. So with all that being said, I think it's time to open this box up. It definitely seemed to have gotten beat up just a little bit, but that's okay. I just hope the boots, obviously the boots made it here, that's all that matters. Now, first thing that was, I even noticed this coming out of the box when I picked it up, there's my paperwork. And on the inside, dun 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 dun, we've got the Ugg boot box that seems to be elasticated. Okay, this is gonna be fun getting this thing out. My cat is laying on my bed. Maxie Bug is sitting on the bed, like, judging me with one eye open. This is a struggle. Oh my goodness. Okay, here they are. Oh my god. Giant size box. Here are my Ugg boots, my brand new Ugg boots. So, I did do some research. I poked around. There are a lot of websites that these boots are available on. I purchased my Ugg boots from Browns. Honestly, I just find that the company, I have had positive experiences in the past. Very few times shopping in the store, but I've had really positive experiences, and I generally like shopping at reputable companies, mostly because if there's an issue warranty-wise, I know that it's going to be a lot easier to walk into a Browns rather than it is maybe in some cases going on off a website or, you know, other companies. They tend to be a little bit more annoying or difficult when it comes to warranty issues. So hopefully, if I ever need to do anything in regards to these boots, I'll have a positive experience. But so far, I do have to say, these boots showed up very quickly. They showed up in about 4 or 5 days. I ordered them on a Sunday, and they showed up within, actually, I think they showed up within 3 days. And then it took me about a day after the fact to go and get them from the postal office. So, let me take these guys out. So I purchased the tallest Adirondack boots. Ooh, they are very pretty. So I'm just going to show you guys what they look like coming out of the box. It does look like they are a brand new pair. It doesn't look like anybody's been trying these on. I'm just going to take out one boot so we can take a look at it and experience the boot. Okay, first thing, for right off the bat, I can tell you this much. This boot is incredibly soft. Now, I ended up giving in and getting the tall version. There is a medium length version, and I think now they even make a shorter version. The reason I ended up purchasing a tall boot is because when it does snow in Toronto, and honestly, I'm probably going to be visiting out my friends out in Barrie, and they have a beautiful property that has been experiencing a lot more snow than we have been here. So I do agree that I think my mom gave me the advice of actually purchasing taller boots. It does make the most sense. The taller the boot, the more coverage you get, and less snow is going to be getting inside your boot, which is the current problem that I have with my winter boots that I currently have. So hopefully all of that will be avoiding it. Now, I have to say again, these feel very, very light. The fabric is actually, well, the Sherpa slash the shearling slash the wool feels very, very soft. I love this color, and this is a color that seems to be loved by many because it was sold out on every bloody website I went on. By the way, I am going to throw this in as a disclaimer. You'll find these boots apparently available on Amazon.ca or .com. I would highly recommend avoiding purchasing Ugg boots on Amazon, because not only have I read the reviews on Amazon, but it seems like on the Ugg website they do go through their counterfeit issues, and a lot of the people that were saying that they purchased boots from Amazon or this boot from Amazon actually is a fake boot. You're going to be getting a lesser quality, something that's probably going to fall apart faster, and you don't have the access to the warranty if you purchase a boot that is not from Ugg themselves. So do your research, purchase from a reputable company, because honestly, it's going to be less of a headache in the future. Just saying. Now, I'm going to pop the cardboard out. Honestly, these are so incredibly soft. Now, I did do some research on Ugg's website this afternoon to just kind of read a little bit more about the construction, the fabric, the quality of product that is actually in this boot, because I was really curious, how is it constructed? Where are they made? What is actually this boot consisting of beyond just the shearling that they are known for / the wool that they are known for, and this iconic looking boot. So overall, this is referred to as the Chester colored boot. It is a completely waterproof boot according to Ugg, but there is a but, and I will leave that but right here and we will get to it shortly. It is a waterproof boot, which includes the a membrane bootie, which I'm assuming is built into the inside of the boot. Usually it's some sort of a fabric bootie that's on the inside, which makes this part waterproof. If any seepage were to ever get inside, it's going to keep your foot dry, which is highly important, especially here in Toronto. We get a lot of snow from time to time, but mostly we get a lot of wet weather, even during the winter time. So there's no avoiding it. It gets cold and then it gets warm. We have a lot of weird weather here in Toronto. So I highly recommend, if you're going to purchase winter products for winter wear, that they are waterproof, because in the long run, trust me, you're gonna need it. So there's a waterproof bootie. Apparently the leather and the suede is waterproof. The non-wicking laces and the sherpa and the wool lining is claimed to be waterproof. Now I'm just gonna roll these up because I do have to say that it does feel like this part of the boot is leather. This part of the boot, which is where about your ankle would hit, is leather, which means it's waterproof. And the rest of this boot feels incredibly soft, which is probably the sherpa and the wool lining and the suede of the boot. Like, this is obviously suede. Now, I read a really interesting, now we're going to get to that butt that I left over here, the little butt hanging here. I read something really interesting under the warranty and questions about warranty and FAQs. Something I found interesting and a little bit contradictory to saying that all of this is waterproof. It says that this is grade A sheepskin and that it is thermostatic, and you can wear this ideally with a bare foot, ideally, and that's generally even with down coats. You don't want to have a crazy amount of layers in general, because the down isn't going to you want to keep it as close to your body as possible because it's going to keep you as warm as possible. So all those things are really wonderful for keeping your foot warm. But what I read on the website is that there is a 1-year warranty from purchase of these boots on regular wear and tear is not included. So I'm assuming, like, if you're like, maybe the soles, like the rubber is falling apart for some weird reason, or the stitching is coming apart, or like if something like manufacturing wise of this boot is falling apart, you're covered. But the thing that isn't, it also says on the website, and it's very clearly said, is don't get the sheepskin wet. And when it comes to, it seems like a lot of people have been sending their boots in warranty wise for discoloration of the suede, and this part of the boot feels like what the rest of Ugg boots, like the basic Ugg boot, is made out of, because it's made out of sheepskin and like suede. Obviously we've all seen those destroyed boots, Ugg boots, that all the teen girls wear to high school and have worn for years, even the ladies and the women out there that have worn Ugg boots, like the regular stereotypical classic Ugg boot around the city especially, and in salt, they get discolored. It basically stains salt will stain the suede, which at the end of the day you want to avoid, because it will discolor the skin of the boot, because it is a natural material. Along with leather does get stained and worn, and I mean, I have worn leather boots as winter boots for years. That was like the one thing that my mom insisted always on purchasing for my sister and I, was getting real leather boots, because they just last forever. They last through winter after winter after winter, especially if you moisturize them. I know that sounds weird, but if you take care of your leather boots, they last a really long time, and they do keep your feet quite warm. So the whole idea of people not knowing that if you stain this, or it gets stained, and if you don't clean it fairly quickly, it is going to discolor, and that is something that is natural with wear and tear, especially living in a city where any city that uses salt is going to destroy your leather boots. So of course that's not a warranty, that's not going to be covered under warranty. I thought it was kind of interesting and a little funny that it's contradictory as far as saying that this boot is completely waterproof, or at least claiming that this boot is waterproof, and not clarifying that you do have to maintain the suede and the leather. I mean, that's common sense for me, but I've, again, had leather boots for many years. So obviously I would suggest that if you are going to be using these regularly, maybe once a week, wiping them down and keeping the leather clean along with the suede, just to maintain the coloring of these boots. Obviously, if you take care of your products, they're gonna last a long time. Now, saying in regards to lasting a long time, over the years I did hear, back in my retail days where I worked for a company that sold these boots, I did hear one of the complaints. They weren't fairly common, but they did happen from time to time, that the rubber would fray and that it would come apart and that it wasn't very good. Now then again, that was 5 or 6, 7, possibly 7 years ago, so I'm assuming that they have changed their rubber, which this, I did make a note on it. This is a white spider rubber, which I'm not entirely sure what that is, to be completely honest. I didn't do any research into it, but from the touch of these parts, which take the most abuse in the, as far as footwear goes, it does feel quite durable. You can tell that there is a, I don't know if my camera will pick it up. Let's see if we can make it pick it up. It is textured, and it almost looked like it's slightly ribbed, and the rubber that is on this part of the boot is different from this part of the boot, obviously, but it is, you've got the tread on the bottom of the boot, which is really important to avoid, obviously, slippage. Especially when we see a lot of rain during the winter time. Obviously it'll freeze overnight, and we get a lot of black ice around Toronto because of the weather and because of that. So I do love to see the fact that there is some serious grippage on these boots. Overall, I think that the laces look nice. They are nice as far as the patterning. They're pretty. These boots are really pretty, I'm not gonna lie. I personally am a fan. The laces feel like they look pretty. They're not super thick, but they do feel like they are of some serious quality, and I'm just curious. I'm gonna yank on them. Honestly, I'm yanking this hard on a pair of laces that I just spent $400 on. But yanking on them, it does feel like there is there is a little bit of resistance as far as it seems like the way they're laced. They do coil out, or they do pull out, but they do come back in, which is important for a good lace. As far as having good laces on your boots, you just need them to be durable. I'm wondering, as far as the waterproofing, I wonder if they've put some sort of coating at least on the leather, and if they've done that to the suede, because the suede just feels like straight up suede, but the leather does have a little bit of a gloss to it, so I wonder if they've at least coated this in something. Generally, when it comes to boots or most winter coats, they'll put on coating, they will put some coating onto the fabrics or leathers to give it obviously that durability, but over time that stuff wears off. With coats, some winter coats that do have that coating, you can wash them and it can replace some of the coating, but with boots, that really isn't an option here. Of course, there are lots of like sprays and balms, and probably what I'm going to do on a monthly basis if necessary, or depending on how much I end up wearing these, I most likely what I'll end up doing is I will get some sort of a waxy balm that either I haven't looked in to see if Ugg sells them. I'm sure they do, but there are plenty of other companies that do sell leather treatment options, but balms and waxes are great for boots that are not completely seam sealed on the inside, because what it does is it fills any of those gaps. It helps to keep the leather, the quality of the leather, the quality of the suede, but over time, obviously anything that's on here as far as coating goes, it'll wear off, and those balms will help to keep your leather alive. So highly recommend that if you have a pair of leather boots, whatever kind of leather boot that they are, that you do use something to moisturize that leather, because they will degrade much faster the less care you put into them. Now, I am going to do some more research probably over the next couple of days, and the more I wear these boots, I will do some research and get back to you guys on what exactly process Ugg maybe recommends in regards to treating the leather and the suede to keep the longevity of these boots. I don't know what that is exactly, and as you can tell, obviously I haven't worn the boots yet. I literally just took them out of the box. So as a first impression of these boots, I'm just taking a look and seeing if there's anything else I want to say. I mean, overall, first impressions of the boots, they're very light. Again, that was the biggest thing for me, is I hate wearing heavy winter boots. Like, you're already wearing 3 layers, you're already having to wear thick socks, like you're already covered in gloves and hats and now a mask, like you're already covered head to toe, literally. So you're already wearing so many layers of clothing. I don't want to have to then wear a heavy boot. I want to be able to, honestly, I want to be able to run in these boots. I'm not going to be doing 10Ks in these boots, but I definitely want to be able to walk around in these all day long. So that's really important to me. I can't believe how soft the suede is of this boot, along with the wool on the inside. My hand, it's, oh, there's more paper in here. Of course there's more paper in here. Going all the way in, I can just, leaving my hand in there, I'm like, I mean, I'm already sweating a little bit because I'm a little bit warm, but just in general, like, my hand is feeling very warm in here, and I can definitely, honestly, I definitely could see myself being one of those people that would go barefoot in these boots. And I think that I read a comment on the Ugg website that I guess, I don't think that they implied that you could wear these barefoot. I don't think that they recommend that you do, but I think initially, if I have my history correct about Ugg boots, is that they initially were made for male surfers on cold days coming out of the water to put your foot right in. So I wonder if that translates to the boot on a regular basis. So we will be doing that. I will be wearing these boots over the next over the next couple of weeks, and I'm gonna come back with a second video to give you guys my next review in regards to how do these wear, how comfortable are they, how warm are they. Apparently these have been rated to be warm enough and keep your foot warm up to -32 degrees, which, I mean, I think ratings that come from companies are not exactly the most reliable, and not to bash on the companies that do it out there. Honestly, I think it's just different for everybody. We're all different. We all have different body temperatures. It also depends on what kind of a sock you wear these boots with. So I think that scale can vary, but saying that these boots can keep your feet warm up to -32 degrees is pretty, I mean, it's pretty high up there. And I'm kind of like skeptical hippo eyes about that rating, because, you know, it doesn't get that cold here in Toronto, at least not consistently through the winter time. We have those kind of like weeks where it will be up to, like, with the windshield, sometimes it'll peak up to -40, but it rarely goes up to -30. So I don't know if I'm gonna really be able to test that out this year with these boots. I'm hoping for colder weather. I'm hoping for more snow, because this girl wants to go snowboarding this year desperately. And I did forget to mention, there apparently also is some insulation somewhere within the construction of this boot. It's 200 grams of insulation that's called Dry Tech. It's probably some sort of a synthetic that wicks moisture away, because you need that, especially in a boot where your foot sweats. The nice thing in general that comes when it comes to wool, Wool is a natural, because it's a natural byproduct of an animal, it's really great for moisture wicking. Wool tends to do that very well. You don't need to throw in a whole bunch of other materials into it, but it seems like they have. So I think I've talked enough about these boots. Generally, I think it's a really nice boot in one of my favorite colors. I really like this brown. A lot of my other technical gear and cases that hold my firearms come in this color, so I'm happy that I was able to get my hands on this color. It does come in another sort of gray color. Let me see what it is. I think it's like a grayish black color. Not really the biggest fan. I prefer this really obnoxious brown. So very happy. Initial impressions. Now I think we're gonna go down a little lower, and I'm gonna lower the tripod, and we're gonna try these suckers on and see if, bless my heart, I hope I didn't spend $400 on a pair of boots that don't fit. Hopefully they do fit. So I got my Barefoot. We're gonna try these on. Now let's switch them angles. All right, welcome to, you know, my feet and the floor of my bedroom. Time to get these boots on. All right, I'm just gonna untie these boots and we are going to put them on. So generally I tend to be a size 9 to anywhere to a size 10 depending on the branding, and honestly I cannot remember for the life of me what size I did try on previously in these boots, so I am hopeful that these fit. Now just don't mind the footage of my feet. I'm just going to loosen these boots up and I'm going to get my foot in here. Alrighty, I am putting the right foot on and I'm going to leave them rolled down. Oh my god. I am putting them on barefoot because, you know, I really want to see if they actually fit. My foot is stuck right here because I did not loosen these laces up enough. Exciting, isn't it? This visual, the one you always wanted of my feet. For any of you foot fetish people out there, no shame. Not shame, no shame on this channel about foot fetish. All right, my foot is in, and alrighty, well, I mean, my initial reaction and first impression, the reason I'm laughing that way is because my toe is right to the tip of this boot. Now, I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't know if that's a bad thing. I don't know how I feel about it, but I am a little bit concerned because of the fact that my foot is touching right at the edge, and I am not wearing any sort of sock with these boots, which again, I guess is ideal. These are supposed to be super warm, so I won't have to, in theory, have to wear super thick socks, but that is not a good sign that my toe is at the very tip of these boots. Now, my foot, again, is a very narrow foot, so the fact that I'm, you know, fitting very snugly at a size 10, but, you know, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Let me gather my thoughts. My feet are long, narrow, and as far as the overall fit through the boot, my foot is very snug, but these are a size 10, and my foot is definitely, I'm just gonna stand up, it is definitely touching the tip of the boot. Now, standing up and wearing them, I don't know if that's honestly the worst thing in the world. I'm going to tie these up, but that does indicate, obviously, for if it's not obvious to everybody, that these boots fit and run very, very small. Honestly, I probably would have gone with a 10.5, just to feel a little bit more comfortable in regards of the fit overall. I don't know how I feel about this. I honestly don't. I'm gonna lace these up all the way because I'm just curious to see. Let's roll them down. I'm just curious to see what they look like laced all the way up. There's that beautiful grid on the bottom, or the grip on the bottom. Where's the hole? Where's the hole? I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. What I probably will do, we're gonna try this again. You know what? I have an idea. I'm just going to finish tying these up. I will be right back. I'm going to grab a thick sock and we're gonna try these on with thick wool socks. And we're back. So I grabbed a pair of wool socks that I would typically wear during the winter time. And honestly, okay, here's another impression of mine that I have in regards to these boots. Just walking around my apartment, I definitely have to say that they definitely feel very, very snug. Now, I may retract my hesitation that I meant, like, that I had earlier in regards to that. I did mention earlier, obviously the reason I'm not a fan of Sorel boots is because they're so wide. So the fact that my foot does feel very snug in these is not the worst thing in the world, but I am curious to see if it's going to feel, I mean, my foot does feel snug, so my left foot has the wool sock on it, and I'm just gonna tie these babies up and see how they feel. I mean, I guess, again, in theory, if these are good up to negative 20 or 32, then I wouldn't necessarily need to have to wear these thick wool socks with these boots, which for me, that's great, because I'm not the biggest fan of having to, you know, put on 20 layers to be able to walk outside. I mean, I do it to stay comfortable and to stay sane in the wintertime, but let me see what it feels like. So I'm gonna stand up, and I suppose I will give you guys a little bit of a fashion show. So this is what they look like. I mean, I do have to say, the foot with the sock, which is this one, does feel very snug. It definitely feels like my foot isn't going anywhere. I do have to say, I don't think I've ever tried on a pair of shoes that have fit this snug in regards to my feeling like my foot's not going anywhere. And this is the foot that has no sock. And I do have to say, the other thing I have to mention is that these boots and the shearling on the inside and the wool on the inside is stupid soft. Like, there is no itchiness, there is no like uncomfortability, and I am one of those people that definitely has like sensitivity in regards to like itchy fabrics. So there, I guess for anybody who's maybe concerned about putting on any kind of wool products, you don't really necessarily need to maybe be concerned about these. So I feel like, I'm gonna move this. Honestly, I feel like they actually do fit quite comfortably. I think my hesitation was a little bit premature in that regard, but I do have to say they do feel very comfortable and very, very warm. So I'm gonna bring you guys back up to eye level so we can finish up this video and have our final chat. Honestly, I'm sweating, not only in these boots, but just in general. They are very, very warm. And my left foot is now warmer than my right foot because it's got a wool sock on it. But okay, overall, I think my first impressions of the boot, they feel very soft and they feel very comfortable, which at the end of the day, in my books, honestly, when it comes to wintertime and when it's really cold outside, whether it's -10 or whether it's -40 degrees outside, you want to be comfortable, especially if you wake up early in the morning to go to work or to take your kids to school. You want to be putting on something that is very comfortable. So, in my opinion, putting on these boots, whether you have no sock on or whether you put on a wool sock, either way, they feel really comfortable. Now, again, this is just a first impressions video, so I am going to put these boots to the test over the next, probably, honestly, I think I'm gonna do maybe like a 2-week trial run, and I'm gonna take some video footage along the way and give you guys my feedback and even let you guys know as far as cleaning and how clean these end up staying, because as I mentioned, we deal with a lot of salt here in Toronto, so I will keep you guys posted on how clean these boots are staying and how easy they are to clean. I'll do some more research on maybe what Ugg, specifically Ugg Australia, recommends to do to these boots to keep them looking like brand new, and I will get back to you guys with a second video, you know, giving you guys my honest opinion about whether or not these can perform and survive at least a Toronto weather, or Toronto weather. Oh my God, I've been talking for too long. I know, I'm sorry. A Toronto winter. So we're gonna put them to the test and we'll be back. Hopefully sooner than later, but I hope that you guys got something out of this video. Now, again, I know these boots are obviously not the cheapest option out there. They are easily the most expensive boot on the market, at least from what I saw. They are not your only option. There are other options out there. I will leave links, at least 3 links down in the description box down below if you guys aren't interested in checking out some other winter boot options. If you can't afford to purchase a pair of these, I don't blame you. They're very expensive. There are, however, other styles of these boots that are less expensive, obviously, than these guys. Still fairly on the expensive side, but I will leave links to everything that I'd suggest checking out in the description box down below if you're looking for a pair of boots that are going to do the job for you in regards to keeping you dry and warm through the winter year and through the winter season. So let me know if any of you have owned a pair of these boots, what your experience has been like. Let me know what you guys think in general. Ask me any questions that maybe I forgot to answer in this video, and I will happily respond as quickly as I possibly can. But I hope, and my camera cut me off. As I was saying, let me know in the comment section down below if you guys have any experiences or have any questions, and I will keep you guys posted as soon as the next video will come out. I really appreciate you guys joining me. I had a lot of fun today recording this. Of course, this video, I will make a very bold disclaimer. This is not sponsored. I purchased these boots on my own, as I mentioned earlier. This is not a sponsorship, even though Ugg probably should, you know, throw me a sponsor. Just saying, throwing that out there. Just saying. But let me know. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about these boots. And again, thank you so much for joining me. I had so much fun filming this, and I hope you guys enjoyed. So I will see you guys soon. Bye.